New details about the death of Food Network star Anne Burrell. Reports now say it was her husband.
The news of Anne Burrell's passing is sending shockwaves through the American culinary world. The woman who won over millions of viewers with her powerful personality and boundless energy has unexpectedly left behind a fortune worth millions of dollars, leaving her entire family in tears. Behind her death lie secrets about her legacy and stories that have never been revealed. What truly happened, and why has Anne Burrell's estate become the focal point everyone is talking about? All will be detailed right here.
She was laying on the floor of her shower, surrounded by dozens of pills.
On the morning of June 17, 2025, Anne Burrell's loft apartment in the heart of Brooklyn became the center of attention across every major news outlet and American media platform. News broke that Anne had died at the age of 55 after a sudden heart attack, discovered by her husband Stuart Claxton at nearly 8 in the morning.
At 7:50 a.m. yesterday, officers arrived to Anne's Brooklyn home. The Worst Cooks in America host was unconscious and unresponsive.
Shocking not only her family, but the entire culinary community. According to the New York Fire Department report, the emergency call was made immediately when Stuart found Anne unconscious in the bathroom. Although medical personnel arrived within minutes, all attempts at resuscitation failed. The preliminary report listed cardiac arrest as the cause of death, though the official conclusion is still pending the results of the autopsy. Anne's sudden departure has left a tremendous void, not only for her immediate family, but also for everyone who loved her on screen.
Our last meal together, we were on such a high.
She looked great last time I saw her, which was just a couple months ago.
As soon as the news was confirmed, Anne Burrell's family immediately faced another harsh reality: the personal estate she left behind, valued at approximately $4 million according to Celebrity Net Worth. This estate includes not only cash and bank accounts, but also real estate, television royalties, revenues from 2 best-selling cookbooks, and brand endorsement contracts accumulated over more than 2 decades of work. Most notably, there is the Brooklyn loft Anne purchased in 2019 for $1.53 million, which by 2025 had risen in value to around $2 million a place where she lived, created, and welcomed generations of young chefs. Anne Burrell's passing forced her family to immediately confront significant legal and financial responsibilities. Stuart Claxton, along with her children and immediate relatives, became the ones responsible for managing all aspects of the inheritance, from real estate value, television royalties, to ongoing income from the reruns of programs Anne had appeared in. There are also unfinished charitable projects, unsettled brand contracts, and community contributions Anne had previously committed to. In a brief statement to the media, the family emphasized Anne's smile lit up every room. Even though she is no longer here, her warmth, spirit, and boundless love will remain forever. Along with that affection comes the responsibility to determine which values must be preserved for the next generation and which assets need to be shared in the right way. Legal sources admit that for high-profile figures like Anne Burrell, the inventory and division of her estate may take many months or even years. It's not just a matter of material value, but also image rights, copyrights, brand contracts, and charitable projects. Meanwhile, television audiences and fans only see a small part of the story, as behind the scenes there are ongoing debates and negotiations about maintaining Anne Burrell's legacy for future generations of chefs. While procedures remain unresolved, Anne's family has announced their intention to continue her community projects, with plans to consider establishing a scholarship fund or supporting charitable organizations that she cared about. Amid calculations regarding assets and the pressure to preserve her reputation, the true source of Anne Burrell's strength traces back to those early, challenging years. Few know that behind the TV spotlight lay a long process of training, setbacks, and proving herself in a city that is anything but easy for newcomers to the culinary world. That journey will reveal the key factors that made Anne an irreplaceable figure on the American culinary screen. The beginning of an icon. Born and raised in Cazenovia, New York, Anne Burrell showed her passion for cooking from a young age. In the family kitchen, she often helped her mother prepare dinner, watched television with her grandmother, and never missed an episode of Julia Child, the biggest inspiration of her life. In 1991, Anne graduated from Canisius College with a bachelor's degree in English and Communications, a starting point quite distant from the culinary world. Only a few months later, Anne decided to make a complete change, enrolling at the Culinary Institute of America CIA, a gathering place for ambitious young chefs from across the United States. The discipline of professional training at the CIA was an unforgettable early lesson. Anne once shared, "If you don't have enough passion and stamina, you'll take yourself out of the kitchen." She graduated in 1996 and chose Italy as her first stop for hands-on experience, joining La Bottega del 30 in Tuscany, a restaurant with just 30 seats but honored with a coveted Michelin star. There, Anne experienced shifts that stretched from early morning until midnight, working directly with the hands-on processes that define traditional Italian cuisine, exposure to local culinary culture, and a deep understanding of the meaning behind each ingredient and every classic recipe shaped her simple but meticulous style in the years that followed. After nearly a year in Tuscany, Anne returned to New York with a solid culinary foundation. The next turning point was when she became sous chef at Felidia, the famed restaurant of Lydia Bastianich. This was also where Anne built her resolve and endured intense competition, working in a kitchen filled with seasoned chefs. The blend of Italian tradition and the fierce pace of the American culinary industry helped Anne rise through the ranks and establish herself among the new generation of chefs. She once emphasized, "I feel so fortunate to share the true passion of my life with everyone." In 2007, Anne took on the role of executive chef at Centro Vinoteca, a newly opened restaurant in New York. This marked the first time Anne was fully responsible for the menu, the quality of the dishes, and staff management laying the groundwork for her future successes. The transition from the restaurant kitchen to the spotlight of television was a special journey, and it was at this moment that Anne began to make her mark across America. A turning point in transformation. In 2005, Anne took on the role of sous chef for Mario Batali on Iron Chef America. This was the milestone that marked the beginning of more than 2 decades of prominent television work, where Anne not only appeared as a chef, but became the face of innovation, individuality, and inspiration in American cuisine. Just 3 years later, in 2008, Food Network entrusted her to host Secrets of a Restaurant Chef, a specialized show helping everyday viewers access professional kitchen techniques and secrets. The program ran for 9 seasons, earned an Emmy nomination, and was one of the driving forces behind the wave of female TV chefs in the U.S. at that time. The success of Secrets of a Restaurant Chef paved the way for Anne Burrell to join the famous reality series Worst Cooks in America in 2010. Co-hosting alongside many other well-known chefs, Anne remained with the show all the way through 2025, leaving a lasting mark with her strong personality, witty hosting style, and signature platinum hair. In just the first 3 seasons, Anne won consecutively, helping turn the worst students into confident home cooks. Her patience and unique teaching style led many viewers to call Anne the spark in every American kitchen, a role model for anyone who ever thought themselves hopeless in the kitchen to change their fate with cooking. Alongside Worst Cooks in America, Anne was also a familiar face on many other reality TV programs. These include Chef Wanted, 2012-2013 with 36 episodes, Chopped All-Stars, The Best Thing I Ever Ate, Food Network Star, and most recently, House of Knives, which premiered in 2025. Notably, In Chopped All Stars 2015, Anne won and donated $75,000 to the Juvenile Diabetes Research Foundation, a clear demonstration that her influence extended beyond expertise to a strong sense of social responsibility. She also led culinary cruises on the Celebrity Silhouette, appeared on the Food Network float at the Macy's Parade, and became a regular guest at major food events across the United States. Anne Burrell's contributions extended well beyond the small screen. She published 2 cookbooks, Cook Like a Rock Star, 2011, and Own Your Kitchen, 2013, both of which made the New York Times bestseller list and expanded her influence to a wide reading audience. These books empowered thousands to step confidently into the kitchen, changing their perceptions of cooking skills and the joy of preparing food. Many viewers wrote to thank Anne for helping them find confidence and inspiration again, turning ordinary moments into special family experiences. What made Anne Burrell unmistakable on television was her unique personal style: spiky platinum hair, brightly colored dresses, mismatched socks, and a sense of humor that shone through even the most high-pressure situations. Longtime colleague Carla Hall once remarked, "Anne isn't just a chef. She's someone who brings joy and personality into every kitchen." Her direct, demanding, but always positive working attitude made Anne a role model for generations of female chefs who wanted to break free from traditional molds. Achievements that stretched from hands-on kitchen work to television, from books to real life, made Anne an icon not only of Food Network, but also of a wider movement to democratize culinary arts in America. Every mark she left on television was the result of a long journey in which Anne Burrell constantly reinvented herself and created lasting, genuine values. That success was not just due to her striking image, but also stemmed from a personal philosophy, passion, and an unending desire to learn, to better understand the challenges behind the television spotlight. The story of Anne's private life, setbacks, and resilience in overcoming difficulties will continue to reveal another side of a famous woman who never stopped striving for new heights. A life filled with turbulence. In her personal life, Anne was known for her strong bond with Stuart Claxton, the partner who had stood by her side since 2018 after they met on a dating app. They held a cozy wedding on October 16, 2021 in her hometown of Cazenovia, witnessed by family, friends, Stuart's son Javier, Anne's mother Marlene, and her sister Jane. Anne always kept her private life discreet, but she could not avoid becoming a media focus, especially after her engagement to chef Corin Grieveson at the end of 2012, a relationship that attracted attention from journalists and culinary fans for many years afterward. Alongside her openness about her sexuality, Anne once responded directly to speculation on social media, "I have never hidden my sexuality, nor do I feel the need to." That clarity and honesty helped her retain respect from colleagues and the public, even while constantly facing the pressure that comes with being a public figure in the culinary and entertainment world. Anne's professional journey was not without its challenges, especially in business. In 2017, she invested in opening her own restaurant, Phil and Anne's Good Time Lounge in Brooklyn, with high hopes. Within less than 2 years, though, the restaurant was forced to close due to financial pressures and operational difficulties. Anne would later recall this failure at public events. Managing a restaurant requires more than love for the kitchen. It demands clear-headedness, resilience, and the ability to accept risks. Though painful, Anne viewed it as a valuable lesson that deepened her appreciation for perseverance and the ability to recover after setbacks. Alongside her professional activities, Anne Burrell was also active in various charitable projects, serving on the advisory board of the Garden of Dreams Foundation, acting as honorary ambassador for the Juvenile Diabetes Research Foundation, and joining the Food Council of City Harvest. These community initiatives were not just responsibilities, but a way for Anne to express her life philosophy. I feel so fortunate to share the true passion of my life with everyone. Events, workshops, and inspirational activities. She led connected young chefs with the public, bringing a spirit of sharing and encouragement to every real-world project. In family life, Anne always worked to balance the demanding schedule of a television chef with the responsibilities of being a wife and stepmother. After marrying Stuart Claxton, Anne often spoke about their mutual companionship and understanding. "We're always together because Stuart works from home. It's an adventure for two grown-ups." Many observed that this personal stability helped Anne maintain her positive energy, creativity, and ability to withstand the pressures of media and public attention. Even after firmly establishing herself in the industry, Anne Burrell never stopped reinventing herself. She continued to participate in television programs, expanded her influence to culinary education projects in the community, taught cooking at various centers, and collaborated with nursing homes to improve meal quality for the elderly. These experiences not only reinforced Anne's status in the culinary world, but also demonstrated her impact far beyond the small screen. This journey shaped a lasting role model, and the true breadth of Anne's influence will become even clearer in the ways the community, colleagues, and society remember her after she has left the kitchen behind. A lasting impact. After Anne Burrell passed away, a sense of loss spread across media, social networks, and the entire American culinary industry. What stood out was not only the shock, but also the profound reach of the values Anne had built over 3 decades in her profession. Many renowned chefs, TV hosts, and artists paid tribute, showing absolute respect for Anne's role and personality in the industry. Carla Hall emphasized, "I loved working with Anne on Worst Cooks in America. She was a strong chef and teacher with her custom dresses, mismatched socks, and unforgettable smile. Anne, you brought love and passion to every kitchen." Artie Sequeira, who worked alongside Anne on many projects, shared, "Anne was a tough but caring teacher, always greeting you with warmth, joy, and laughter. I deeply appreciated her guidance." Aaron Sanchez also highlighted Anne's spirit, leadership, and laughter as unforgettable qualities, while Buddy Valastro called her a true force and a beautiful soul. Anne Burrell's influence became most apparent on social media, as hashtags like #OneRememberAnne and #Anne Burrell Inspires trended on Instagram, Twitter, TikTok, and Facebook. Fans shared stories and personal memories of how Anne helped them overcome kitchen anxiety, rediscover the joy of cooking, or simply brought laughter to their families through every episode. Messages from Sunny Anderson, "Devastated," Gigi Hadid, "Rest well, legend," and hundreds of thousands of comments from viewers of all ages proved the multidimensional impact of Anne's work. Major outlets such as the New York Times, People, and Hindustan Times continuously covered her passing, calling her an icon who transformed the landscape of culinary reality television in America. Anne's influence extended beyond television or best-selling books. Her family, led by Stuart Claxton and their children, announced plans to continue the charitable initiatives Anne had championed. Several colleagues, former students, and social organizations collaborated to establish scholarships, community projects, or educational programs in Anne Burrell's name, supporting young culinary talents, especially women. Workshops, classes, and community cooking events all included moments of silence or tributes to the trailblazer who helped redefine success in the culinary world. This widespread impact means Anne Burrell's image continues to live on in the hearts of viewers and professionals alike. Major reality channels like Food Network have kept rebroadcasting her shows, organized special memorial episodes, and even proposed new awards in her name to honor the most inspiring chef of the year. Many trending videos on YouTube and TikTok with millions of views revisit Anne Burrell's recipes, signature sayings, and famous humorous moments, creating a powerful wave that continues to spread her influence. Notably, Anne Burrell's legacy is not just in her personal achievements, but in the real shift in social perceptions about female chefs, the movement to make culinary arts more accessible, and her ability to bring kitchen knowledge to the wider public. Many young chefs, especially women, openly admitted they chose this career after seeing the path Anne had paved. From social projects, charity work, down to small details like her sock collection, dresses, and platinum hair, all have created the Anne Burrell effect, a steadfast, spirited, and deeply humane role model in the culinary field. The impact Anne Burrell leaves behind is a living lesson in the power of passion, resilience, and the desire to spread positive values. She proved that an individual can influence an entire industry, a community, and future generations through their own story, determination, and way of life. Looking at her far-reaching influence, it is clear that Anne's journey does not end with a memorial, but lives on through every story, every act, and every new source of inspiration passed on each day. If you ever admired Anne Burrell or found inspiration in her story, share your thoughts in the comments, subscribe to the channel, and follow the next videos to help keep the passion alive and carry on the legacy of those who have changed the culinary world.